How you guys doing today? This is Rollins 9mm. I know I ain't did a video in a while. I picked up one of these little Ruger's LCP. Wanted to talk about it right here. They had a real nice sale on these. This is the new one with the thumb safety there. Did a few little upgrades on it I want to talk about. There's what she looks like. I know I'm a little late to the game. I know this has been out a while. But this one ain't been out that long. Because this is the one with the thumb safety. You know, it's got the same front night sight as the other ones had on it. And everything. But I want to talk about a few little upgrades. And I got the Smith & Wesson Bodyguard here too. I throw that in the mix with it. And got original LCP here that I've had for a long time, you know, just for some little comparisons. You know, ain't much of a difference there, you know, except this one holds 10+1 or 12+1, and this one holds 6+1, I think, or 7+1 you can get in this one. And I want to talk a few things I bought for this here. I got the takedown pin for this, and I really want to talk about that because I had a problem with that from that M Carbon or Carbo. Carbo is how you say it. And then I put the stainless steel, it's back here. I put the stainless steel guide rod in it from them, which that was good. And then I got the 13-pound spring from Galloway. So, let me tell you about this takedown pin from them. You know, I figured it would work good and have no problems out of it. But when I put this in, and I don't know if you could see it, I scratched my slide just a little bit right there, which kind of teed me off, trying to get this back out. Then I went and did some research, started reading some reviews on that takedown pin from them. If you don't have a little knowledge and ingenuity, I would not purchase this pin from them, none whatsoever, because I thought I was going to break the gun getting it back out. That's how tight it is when you put it in there. Now, I can take, you know, a spent round or something, and I'll tell you how I got it to work. I'll show you. I can pop it right out now, because I want to show you everything I put in it anyways. Just stick a spent round or something. See, it pops up just like the original does. You can pull it right out. But when I got this, you couldn't do that. And I'll tell you, I was like, man. So I started looking at the original, and I started looking at this. This has got a they already got a groove. I don't know if you can see it. There's a groove for the spring to set right there. And then this lip was so sharp that it was hard for you to get past that spring. And they would blow the plastic and everything up. And they say, oh, just put your finger right there with some pressure and you can pop it. That's not the case. I thought I was going to have to knock the pins out to get this back out of there. And what I did, I put this in a drill. I took a real small file of mine and I set and let the drill run it and put that file on there about 3 or 4 times just to bring that little edge down off of that. Now it works perfect. But if you didn't get that kind of skills, I wouldn't get one if I was you. Then the slide, you know, it just pops right off after that. You don't have to pull the trigger or anything. And they're stainless steel guide rod, very nice. I got the stainless steel guide rod from M Carbon because the price was way cheaper than Galloway's. This was only like 10 bucks. And you got to use your inner spring from the Galloway 13-pound spring. You have to use this inner spring, guys. You got to use them both. You only get the one. You only get the outer spring from Galloway. Every LCP that I've ever owned, I have always put a 13-pound spring in them for reliability reasons, because it's not that much of a difference on racking them. It's not that bad at all. They put these nice wings on the back of here now. Gives you a better grip anyways when you're pulling them back and racking them. This one here, you know, like I said, I've always put them in there. You can see it's got the stainless steel guide rod. It's got the 13-pound spring in it too. I carried this one for years. Very good gun. Still has its place. You know, I'd carry it anytime for sure. But when I seen they come out with these, I've carried a Ruger for years, since the LCPs has been out. And I know a lot of people, they say they prefer the Bodyguard, you know, because it's got a higher borax than the Ruger does. And you can see that right there. And you put the 12-round mag in there. You can see there the hand grip. And then with the borax not being as high and an undercut here, even with the extended 12-round mag, you can see that right here. The pinky still hangs off just a little bit. Here's the Bodyguard with it cut, the higher borax here. You can see the same grip with a 10-round flush magazine. Now if I get the extended magazine for the Bodyguard, you get the full, you can see it's a full grip. So a lot of people like that better about the Bodyguard. You know, the Bodyguard's a little stiffer to rack. I don't know how many pound spring is in them, but the Ruger, it comes from the factory with a 9-pound spring in it, and then I always upgrade them to the 13. That way you get better feeding and everything. Now I like them both. I can't say I like one over the other, that one's better than the other. Excuse me. To me, they both shoot the same. The only thing I had, like the Bodyguard, I had to drift this over to the right a little bit, push this back sight more to the left, because this thing was shooting way, way left. And that's the only way that I got it to compensate. I'm not that bad a shooter, so it's definitely the gun, and it's not me on that. The Ruger, I had no problems with. I didn't touch the sights. I took it out the box. I took it to the range, and it was dead on point. But I have been, like I said, I have had the LCPs. I've had them for years, and I've shot them a lot. So I was probably more used to the LCPs than I was the new Bodyguard Smith & Wesson. I'm carrying, I find myself carrying this more than I carry the Bodyguard. Now, the biggest reason I bought this here, because my local gun shop had it on sale for this last month, and for the price of this, I just couldn't turn it down, guys. I got this for $229, brand new, in the store plus tax. You know, you just couldn't beat it. You know, it only comes with the one 10-round magazine. That's all you get with it. You know, you get the, everybody knows you get the little pocket holster, and you get a little loader. I bought 3 more 12 round magazines for it, because I like switching my mags out. If I'm carrying this for, say, a month, I want to take the mags out and I want fresh mags in it and let the other ones rest. That's just the way I do things. And when I carry this, I carry it with the 12 round plus one in the pipe. I get 13 rounds in it. And I just ordered me some Underwood ammo for it, because it goes a little deeper than the G9s do, these here, which is a good round, you know, fluted round, the G9s, for you guys that know about this ammo. But I did order the Underwood 68 grain, and I never buy no Underwood because everybody was having problems with this Smith & Wesson Bodyguard shooting the Underwood, but it runs the G9s just fine. That one does. And I bought this holster for it, Pope Craft, off of Amazon. It's a good little holster for what you pay for them on there. Yeah, you can't beat the price on there. I think I only paid like 23 bucks for that holster. It does its job. You know, I can appendix carry it, or 4 o'clock carry it, 3 o'clock carry it, whatever way you want to carry it. That's a pretty decent little holster. Had a Vetter holster for the original LCP. Now this will fit that, but you can see it's a little off. You can see the trigger guard shows a little more, but everything there is still protected. With the Max, it's just a hair short there, but I can show you with the regular LCP, that, I guess it does stick out a little bit there still on the Vetter, but you can see that's even with the gun right there, which is good. But it still fits other holsters. That just amazes me. The original LCP fits the other holsters. You can see there's really, as far as the width up here, I wish I had my calipers here to measure this. I bet you all of this is the same, because they look the same. I don't see really any difference in the width. I think it's just a change in the frame, you know, where they made it wider, where it would have taken the stack and a half versus this. This is wider with this whole grip on it. If you really look at it, it's wider. The original LCP is with that hoe grip. You know, it's a lot thinner without it, but I just like the hoe grip on that one because it's a little snappy. I'm not really recoil sensitive like a lot of people. Like a lot of people says this is snappy. I've seen people put hoe grips on this, but I shot it. I like it just the way it is. Yeah, it's a little slick up here. I'll give it to the Bodyguard with the texturing and everything they got here is very good. And you know, you get a little memory pad on each side for your fingers, which the LCP doesn't have. The breakdown on the Bodyguard's a lot easier. This has a thumb safety too. I've never used a thumb safety on this because this has the block underneath, the trigger block there. I'll show you something else about the Bodyguard that a lot of people probably don't know about breaking this one down. Lock that to the rear. If you look right down in there, I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me get a flashlight here real quick and show you this. There's an extractor right there, if you could see it. Now, I don't know, it's hard for me to do this. I'm going to try to push my finger down there. You can push that extractor straight down. See that? See how that cocked down there now? I just figured that out myself. And then, because I know how all the Smith & Wessons usually have that little bar down in there, but it flipped me out when I noticed the extractor flipped down, started pulling the trigger, and then you just flip that down and let it go, and the slide comes right off without pulling the trigger. Like I said, you got the trigger block here, so I really never use the safety on this one. But And like I said, I've carried the LCPs for a long time, and then you just put your magazine back in there, and that'll pop that extractor right back up. You don't have to worry about it. I've carried a lot of the LCPs, and I pocket carried these, but this has a really long, this is empty, guys, nothing in there, has a really long, heavier, you can feel the resistance right there, long trigger pull, and then it breaks. These new Maxes, without a thumb safety, it has no trigger block up in here, but they claim they got a safety system inside there, you know, to keep from that going off. But this kind of reminds me of a 1911. You know, you got a 1911, you got the hammer cocked, you know, and I've never carried a 1911 around without the safety flipped up on it like that. It's very nice safety, you know. And if I'm going to appendix carry this gun, and when I sit down, you know, and that pointing down there at all your junk, it's kind of a little scary without a thumb safety, I figure, because this one, you know, you got a little slop there, you know, and if that hammer dropped, this gun's going off. That's a fact. Do I think it could happen? Possible. Do I think it might happen? Maybe not. You know, but your slop's there, you start hitting your wall right there right away, and boom. Nice trigger. I should have brought my trigger gauge down here. I've heard a lot of people saying, you know, these are 5 and 6 pound triggers. I don't know. Maybe some of these newer ones that Ruger came out with, but I got an average on this 3.11. Every time I used a lineman, and I used the other one I had, and that's what I kept getting on it, was 3.11 on the average, which I feel this trigger is just, it's a very sweet trigger on this gun. I wouldn't change nothing on it. I wouldn't get another trigger for it. I just like the way it shoots. It's accurate for me. I've heard a lot of people say, oh, the Rugers ain't accurate. Rugers take a lot of practice. You know, like I said, I've been carrying these for years. So when you can shoot one of these, you're going to shoot one of these with no problem. I didn't have to move the sights on these. They was dead on. You know, I might have been off a little bit myself because I ain't been shooting in a while, but as soon as I put, you know, about 25 rounds through it and got myself comfortable, I was dead on target every time. You know, it's all about your trigger control, your hold. Your hold's really important when it comes to that. But I really want to tell you guys about this Carbo. I keep pronouncing that wrong. Carbo pin for breakdown. Because, man, that was a nightmare. I thought I was really going to break this gun, guys. There's no doubt in my mind. But I just wanted to do a little video telling you guys about the upgrades. And, you know, I like this one. I like the Bodyguard, too. You know, I carried this one a lot last summer. And this one I'll probably carry more this summer. I don't know. They're both good guns. You know, I paid $3.99 for this one, which is kind of expensive, but it's well made. You know, very tight gun. You shake it, like everybody says, take the mag out, you can shake it, it's got no noise. You know, the Rugers, they just always, you know, rattled a little bit. This one ain't too bad, really. You know, I've heard them worse. Ever since I put the 13-pound spring in there, it's not as noisy as it was with this stock spring in it. You know, it tightens it up a little bit. You know, this one here, same way. Once you put that 13 in there, they don't rattle like they did before, which is pretty good. Like this one, you know, I picked this Vetter holster up on eBay, got that for a good price. You guys know I've did a lot of Vetter videos. For the Smith & Wesson, this was this one I picked up on somebody made on eBay. Good little Kydex holster, fits it nice, you know, does the job. That's all it needs to do. And I don't know what else I can say about it, guys. You know, biggest reason I bought this one here was the price. $229 my gun store had this on sale. You can't get much for $229 today. You know, just absolutely love it, you know. And if you counted, you know, $229 and take the front sight price off, that's probably another 50 bucks. You know, not everything comes with a night sight today, and I do love the idea that this is stainless. I would take a stainless slide like this over the black slide. I like black, but Ruger's with the black slide, you're sweating a lot. You carry it in your pocket, it's going to rust. I don't think I'm going to have to worry about this doing that with that. I mean, yeah, the barrel could, but I doubt it. Like I said, I've had this one here for years, and I've carried the crap out of this one. You know, this one is Cerakoted, which is a little bit better. It's got some scratches and stuff up on here, and had to paint the sight orange on the front to have some type of sight on that thing. But the main thing is about the Lcp Max. My opinion, I love it. I love it. I say if you can find it at your local gun store, you know, for the price I did, I'd definitely pick one up if you like 380s. Very nice gun, guys. And this is Rollins 9mm. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. And you guys have a real good day.